My mother kept supporting her sister's excesses, covering up for her no matter what she did. As time went on, my mum started complaining that someone was fighting for her position at work. She came back every evening looking worried and tired, just staring into space like something heavy was on her chest. Then, one day, she returned home and said something strange had been done to her office chair. The moment she sat on it, she felt sharp pains all over her body. We laughed it off at first, thinking it was just stress. But that night, she went to bed and never truly rested again. From that day on, my mom's body began to change. Strange rashes appeared. She lost weight rapidly, and her body developed a terrible smell, like rotten meat. The strong woman I knew was now helpless, unable to even sit up without groaning in pain. She spent all her money trying to save her life, moving from one hospital to another, but nothing worked. Soon all her savings were gone. Her prolonged sickness made her unfit for work, and she was replaced. What hurt the most was my aunt's behavior. She had benefited from my mother's kindness for years. Yet she complained about her own finances and never helped with money for my mum's medicine. I watched my mother fade away, her eyes losing their spark. My aunt started coming home unusually late from her restaurant, going straight to her room without even checking on my mum. I just stayed by my mother's side, helpless, watching her breathe slowly and painfully. One night, I slept beside her, holding her hand tightly because I was so scared. When I woke up, she was unusually quiet. I called her name, I shook her gently, but she didn't respond. My mum was gone. Suddenly, my aunt produced a huge sum of money to transport her body to the village for a grand burial. So many people came. The irony was, painful a woman who couldn't afford a single pill when she was sick was now getting a lavish funeral. After she was buried, I became an orphan, forced to live with my aunt. That's when I learned that people are not always who they seem. I was almost done with my degree, but my aunt stopped me from going back to school. Instead, she forced me to work in her restaurant. I soon realized I wasn't just a waitress. I was her maid. I washed plates, scrubbed black pots, cleaned everywhere, and ran errands non-stop. Her own daughters, Chisholm and AMARA, continued their education while I became a full-time servant. The worst part, I was forbidden to eat without her permission. I could only eat leftover food that was about to spoil. I woke up at 3 a.m. every day while her daughters slept. I cooked and prepared everything, sometimes all by myself. By 8 a.m., she'd leave for the restaurant, and I'd spend the entire day serving customers, washing dishes, and stirring pots on the fire, hiding just to get a few bites for lunch. When we got home in the evening, she'd drop her bags and head to the market, leaving me with more chores. Some nights I was awake with her until midnight, only to wake up again at 3 a.m. Sleep was a luxury I couldn't afford. The only rest I got was sleeping in until 6 a.m. on Sunday. But even then, while she and her daughters slept until 10, I was busy washing clothes, curtains, and cleaning the entire house. The cycle of stress never ended. I felt my body growing weaker each day. Whenever I complained, she never let me rest. I kept working through pain, exhaustion, and sleepless nights. Deep inside, I knew one day I would just collapse from the stress. Until one day,